unfortunately. All right, we are back for Star Wars, the role-playing game, and today we're going to finish up the series with 3 videos, 4, 5, and 6, where this first one we're going to talk about starships. Not a lot of starships in this one, but at least the rules are there to help you understand how to utilize them in the game. I think somebody last week stated, I don't like the starship rules in this game. Well, we'll find out why that might be true. And if this isn't enough information for you, stand by for the next video where we actually dive into starship combat. But for now, let's take a look at starships in Star Wars role-playing game. What did my notes say? Page 54. I forget if it's actually 54. It's not. Oh, wait, yes.
It's actually like 53 on the PDF for some reason.
What is this sideways crap?
I don't know.
Uh-oh. Well, that's okay.
My PDF doesn't do that.
Okay, I have another PDF. Okay, hold on. Hold on. You know what? I'll play this game. We can do this PDF. I have another one.
That's okay. Mine, like I said, I was reading through, and at some point it goes from single page to double page and then back.
Oh yeah, you have the old one. And so I have the newer one that doesn't do that, but unfortunately, apparently we just found the problem. Oh crap. Just copy this. Open it again, but Star Wars. Oh yeah, and we'll do the smaller PDF. All right. There, see? Now it doesn't do it anymore. Weird. That is just weird. Okay. So let's look at Starship data. So pages 55 to 57 contain information about the most important small ships in Star Wars. The Millennium Falcon, X-Wing fighters, TIE fighters, and stock light freighters. An Imperial Customs frigate frequently encountered by small ships is also included. Information on a wide variety of other ships. Zoom in more on that. My blind eyes can't see anything anymore. Oh, there we go. There we go. Information on a wide variety of other ships and additional information on these ships can be found in the Star Wars source book. I don't know if that's the second book that I've got because I have the 30th year or reprints of these, but there are a bunch of ships out there. And oh, by the way, that one you actually can find on those sites out there that somebody will probably put in chat because I forgot the name of it. There is a Star Wars D6 site out there. And people were talking about that last week. So you guys can find most of the books, if not all of them, for this series. Still debatable whether you can find this actual book, though. All right, each ship description includes the crew, number of crew members needed to operate the ship safely. Who needs safety? Screw that, it's just me. It's me and my Star Destroyer. Rest of it should be automated by droids, right? Just saying. Passengers, the number of passengers other than crew it's designed to carry. Those are the lazy bums that come on and demand coffee and a scenic view or whatever. Just throw them next to the engine. Little radiation never hurt anybody. Cargo capacity, number of kilograms of cargo the ship can carry. Consumables, how many days the ship can operate before landing or docking. Okay, that might be a little important. A measure of the amount of food, water, and air and fuel carried. Hyperdrive multiplier. This is one of the things that will throw people off, and we are going to talk about astrogation. Pretty sure. Hold on. Yes, we'll be talking about astrogation a little bit. This multiplier, how do I say this? I like it, and it explains why Han Solo says, I can go 0.5 past light speed. and that actually makes some sort of sense. Nav computer. Ships without nav computers have problems traveling by hyperspace. Yeah, do you want to make that calculation? Who here can do the quantum mathematics to get from here to Alpha Centauri?
I mean, I did it last Tuesday, but I don't want to do it.
You had a calculator, don't lie.
Fine, I did.
Hyperdrive backups. Larger ships carry these for emergencies. Sublight speed. This die code is used in ship-to-ship combat. Now, this will be when we start talking about the combat to determine. I can't remember if it's initiative or if it's how hard you are to hit. We'll figure it out then. Maneuverability. Oh, so is this. There you go. So is this. Great book. Go ahead.
Right. I was going to say, when I saw this, I'm like, Max is probably going to throw a fit over this because of the whole technical writing thing. Because I'm reading, it's like as you're reading it, it makes sense. But mechanically, you hit that and like, huh? And unless you've read that previous line, it literally won't make sense.
That's yes. As a technical writer, I would never let this pass. Leave my office like that. It's funny because they're writing a technical manual, but they're using creative writing techniques. And no, just like you don't want. Believe me, you don't want a novel written in technical manual format. It'd be kind of funny for about the first 2 or 3 pages, and then you're going to throw it against the wall because it'd be the most boring thing you've ever read. Hull. This die code is used when a ship is hit in ship-to-ship combat to determine the level of damage it takes. Very similar to what we talked about last week in terms of resisting damage or the strength roll. Is it called resisting damage? Well, determine if you take damage. Weapons description of the weapons carried. Each weapon has a fire control code used to determine whether its target is hit when it fires, and a damage code used to determine what damage the target takes. We are going to talk about all of this in the next video. And shields. The ship has shields. It has a shield rating, which protects it when the ship is hit, in the same way that armor protects characters in character combat. Oh, by the way, I know you don't have the ability to click on anything, but your role here, you didn't know this, but I'm telling you now, part of your role here is to monitor chat, and if anything stands out as worth talking about at the end of the segment, let me know.
I'm trying to read and watch chat, so we'll see what kind of a disaster I make of the show today.
All right, perfect. It'll be like a normal stream. Don't worry, nobody will even notice.
Yes, exactly.
So, interstellar travel in the Star Wars universe. Well, first thing you got to do is get a ship, unless you want to try to swim out in space. I don't think that works in this game. So your players want a ship of their own. Well, yeah. Easiest way to get a ship is to choose a character template which starts with one, like the smuggler. Boo. The drawback is these characters begin in debt up to their eyeballs. Ships are expensive. That is such an overused trope. No, it is a perfectly normal trope. Like, it's a good trope.
Well, and also don't forget, they're basing this on Star Wars. Who is the like, again, they're using the smuggler example. Who is it? It's Han Solo. What's his biggest problem in the movies? He is in debt up to his eyeballs, probably past his eyeballs. You know, so yeah, they're just trying to give you a feel for it.
I mean, that's really not fair because even he gets boarded sometimes.
Yeah.
Right.
Well
done. So they can save money to buy one. That's what I would do. I'd start you landlocked. And now, again, for the people out there like, oh my God, you're ruining Star Wars because you're not letting me in space. No, I do things like that for character building. Start them landlocked. Maybe there's something they can put together, but they've got to get 5 pieces for it. Maybe it's something that they can buy, but they're going to have to do some things on the side to earn that money. Whatever it happens to be, it's more of just getting the characters, the player characters, to kind of bond. Then they go into space and they play Star Wars.
Well, and don't forget, these are quote unquote level 1 characters. Yeah, you're a smuggler. Yeah, you might have a ship, but can you really do anything? No, have a couple adventures, get some skill points, either add some new skills, build up a little bit, and then you go off planet and start exploring.
Right. Yep. The cost chart, page 41, lists the price of a stock light freighter. Okay, we're on 53 now. I'll forget that. Everybody knows I forget that number. So let's go to 141-ish and find, that's not it. How much do these ships cost on page 140? What the hell is 141? Dude, that's not 141. Okay, so that is page 121. Well, that book lied to me already. Are they way at like right in front of the back cover or something? Nope. All right, well, it lied.
I don't.
Or is it a different book? The cost chart, page 141. I bet you it's on one. Yeah, okay, never mind. It's on one of the tables. Here we go. Cost chart. It's gonna be on one of these tables. I was looking for like a ship diagram or something. Modifiers, optional movement, collision. There we go. Stocklight freighter. 100,000 credits. If it's used, it's 25,000 credits.
I mean,
It's a pretty good price.
Definitely a bargain.
But then it might come with some idiosyncrasies. That's the word we'll use. Wow, land speeders were 10,000? Only 2,000 for Luke's.
Look, even that, they were giving him, way more than he deserved.
Yeah. That's what happens when you have the old crap. You have to have the new model, man. D3. He wants your 1994 Kia. All right. Let's see. Where are we here? List price of stock freighter. They and some other merchant ships and private yachts are widely available on the open market. On the other hand, ever deal with a used car salesman? I love it when players do things like this. And yes, I'm blaming the players. But the book says it's 25,000, and I'm telling you it's 50,000. What's BS, man? Want a ship or do you not want a ship? You look. I've polished it for you. It's got authentication that you'll get to at least 3 systems before anybody recognizes that this isn't who it says it is. Yeah, it's okay. It's get that use that used car salesman and remind players that prices and books are suggestions.
Well, and on top of that, it's like, what if you're like you said, you want to start them landlocked? What if you're not ready for them to go off planet? Cool. Guess what? There's one Stocklight freighter available, and he wants 200,000 for it. What do you mean? It's supposed to be 25,000. Cool story. It's the only one he's got left.
Figure out that happened to me. So when I moved to Alabama, and as a lot of you folks know the story of moving from Germany back to Alabama here, where housing everywhere with COVID going on and so forth. There were no vehicles, and they had the chip shortage at that time. They had 6 new vehicles on the entire lot. 5 of them were Mustangs. No, I wanted a truck, so I got the only truck that was on the lot. Now I said, well, what about used? My brand new truck, after tax, title, licensing, and all the other interest and so on and so forth, was $28,000. You know what a used vehicle was going to cost me with no warranty?
$27,000.
What's that?
$27,000.
Just $20,000. But it was like over 10 years old. Had only gonna have a 30-day warranty on it and so forth. So yeah, depending on what's going on, maybe there's just a glut of ships and you get to pennies on the dollar, or maybe there are none. And the ship that you want is just going to cost a little bit more because it seems that everybody wants that type of ship. Anyway, we spent a lot of time talking about the used ship salesman here. If the players don't have a character with high technology knowledge, skill to tell a good ship from a lemon, they may be in for a spot of trouble. Just a spot.
Actually,
what's that?
I was gonna say that's another great thing. Fine, sell them that Stocklight freighter for 25,000. Good luck getting it off the ground or out of the lot.
When he goes in there and fires up the engines for you to show you that they work, sure, the engine's fired. He didn't say that there isn't enough thrust in there to get it out, off the planet.
And so you're still landlocked.
So you're still landlocked, right? Now, buying a military ship is a lot tougher. Like, impossible unless you have really good connections and a plentiful supply of hard cash. The Rebel Alliance has lots of starships. When characters are assigned on a mission, they're given a ship if needed. It's theirs only for the duration of the mission, of course. And if it's an Imperial ship, well, you're in it until it blows up. All right.
And remember, there's no shields.
Who needs shields? We just make more. Look, it's cheaper to strip mine a planet and to put together these little tiny ships that go wah, all over the place than it is to actually put the technology in there for a shield that takes a lot of power. That means, forget all that. Look, bodies come dime a dozen. We'll just conscript them if we have to.
Look, when you've colonized the galaxy, there are plenty of bodies to go around.
Right. Where do you think we put our aliens? Booking passage. When the average citizen needs to travel between systems, he buys a ticket on a passenger liner. Okay, passenger ships of all types ply the star lanes, from tramps to luxury craft. Tramp means something different than what you think it means, sir. Typically, tickets prices are listed in the cost chart. Of course, getting to a star system off the heavily traveled trade routes is difficult. You may have to change ships 6 times, lame, and lay up in the boonies for weeks at a time, waiting for the next ship. Sometimes no one goes where you want to go, Alderaan. So you have to charter a ship. Sometimes you can't find a ship to charter. The Imperial government regulates interstellar travel very tightly in area it controls. Before boarding a regularly scheduled liner, a character must get authorization from the Imperial bureaucracy. Papers, please. If a player character is known rebel, good luck on getting authorized. Bribery or use of Jedi mind tricks is suggested. Oh, that won't get you caught at all. Or good game masters will do this: authorize them, make it too easy to authorize them, and then have like 25 Imperial agents following them. That's what I would do. And then when they get back to their friends, only let the player characters survive. I mean, I know. In Imperial space, passenger vessels are frequently halted and searched by the Navy, so getting onto a ship may not be enough to get you where you want. A wanted character, one with shaky credentials, is better advised to bribe a smuggler to take him to his destination. Characters on a mission may be told how to contact a rebel agent on a planet within the Empire. Yeah, believe that one. He's a rebel, go talk to him, as he's quickly ripping off his stormtrooper armor. Hold on, I'm not ready yet. Rebel agents sometimes have access to hidden starships or know people who can provide passage. All right, that's a lot of lore. Where do we get to the game stuff, jeepers? All right. Getting off planet. Yeah, okay, trips. Interstellar journey can take days, weeks, months, whatever. Okay. Luxury liners. This is worth reading. Smaller ships, rarely elaborate facility, chef's program. Don't care. Pirates and privateers. I know it's a read-through, but some of this is just kind of describing. If you've watched any Star Wars movie, you know what's going on here. Although pirates are ruthless, pirates prefer to keep things orderly and businesslike. There you go. The Empire treats piracy with the utmost severity. I mean, they're kind of pirates themselves, so it's competition. Pirate ships are destroyed mercilessly whenever encountered. The punishment for piracy is death. Why did the game master kill my character? Because you're a freaking pirate. That's why. Well, so I told him that's what my character is going to be, and he told you you're playing Star Wars. All right. Let's look at the X-Wing fighter. What does any of this crap mean? Crew 1. All right, good. I didn't want anybody else with me anyway. Plus an R2 unit, I suppose. Passengers, none. Well, they can sit on the wing. Cargo capacity, 110 kilograms. Jeepers, that's... You can't even put a fat person in there. You're not traveling.
No, that's... Oh, no, that's about 200 pounds.
Well, 200, 2.2, so was it 220? So maybe what, 230 pounds, 240, somewhere around there.
Cool. I don't fit. Oh,
oh wow. I do still. Consumables, 1 week. All right, so I can live off beef jerky for 1 week. Got a hyperdrive multiplier ×1. We'll get to this later, but effectively that means it goes at the speed of light. Nav computer, none. Well, wait, what? Didn't Luke have a nav computer?
No.
I thought he was calculating the course to Dagobah.
They will explain that later on.
Of course.
Basically, R2 unit astromech droids carry.
Okay,
do the navigation for them, but it's a little bit different than a nav computer. So.
Gotcha. That's right. I completely forgot about that. That he was getting it from R2. Yeah. Okay. Hyperdrive backups, none. Got it. Sublight speed 4D. Remember, these are the dice you're going to be rolling in combat here. Sublight speed and the same as above. Whatever that was saying before, maneuverability. Hull is 4D. That's pretty good. 4 laser cannons. Okay, well, never mind. Its damage is 60. Well, proton torpedoes do 90 damage, but they can't hit the broadside of a barn.
They only have 2D and fire control.
Yeah.
What do you
expect?
expect?
I wonder why he couldn't get that thing down the stupid air vent.
That's why you had to use the force to push it.
Force s'mores. Nobody believes in that hocus pocus nonsense. Shield rating is
Hokey
1D.
religion.
1D. That's actually kind of surprising that it's only 1D. I thought X-Wings had stronger shields. Okay. All right, TIE Fighter. Now, let's go look at a real man's ship here. All right, crew 1, got it. Well, I don't know, you could probably fit somebody else in there. It's almost like a battle mech cockpit, you know. There's a little bit of room in there. You could probably stuff somebody in the side, maybe laying around the back uncomfortably. Cargo capacity is also 110 kilograms. Seems to be a theme. Consumables, 1 day. Yeah, you're not going anywhere. Hyperdrive. You know, they don't, because they know if they give you more than a day, you're gonna fly off.
Well, no, but hold on. Cargo. Okay, this is me being pedantic, and yes, it's a game and whatever. But like, I know with the X-Wing, there's the little cargo bay underneath the astromech droid. But the TIE Fighter, where's the cargo bay? Even for a couple 100 pounds.
Underneath, you just walk under the ship, you open it up, all the stuff falls out.
I guess.
No, I don't know.
I'm
sure there's a tool chest in there. Again, using Battletech, because you know Battletech. I'm sure there's like, you know, a little compartment for something in there that can, sure, it might be a gold brick, but you know, it can hold 110 kilograms. Your ship's gonna fly kind of like this though, instead of like this. Sublight speed 5D. That's right, baby. Screw you, X-Wings. Maneuverability is only 2. Oh, that's right, because it's not the Interceptor. And its hull is 2D. It doesn't last long. Damage is 5D. So, yeah, if it shoots itself, it's done. And shields, none, because who the hell needs shields? Just fly better. You know what? Can I ask my maintenance crew to increase this maneuverability, please?
Look, quantity is a quality all its own.
That is true. All right, let's go to the wide page here. Imperial patrols. The Imperial Navy is large. Its ships garrison many planets, especially ones where rebel activity is suspected. Customs enforcers wander the Empire freely and can arrive at a star system without warning. Hint, hint, hint for game masters. What's here? Most smuggler ships have hidden cargo compartments and are rigged to jettison cargo instantly. Search by the Imperial Navy is never pleasant, because while they're searching their ship, they're probably also searching your cargo holds. There's no court to which you can appeal the acts of the Navy. Everything is consent. The Navy has been known to seize cargoes and valuables without explanation, to gun down those who object on the spot, to plant contraband to justify the seizure of ship, etc., or just write it into the report. I didn't think we found any spice on there. Yeah, I just wrote it in there anyway. Okay, he's guilty. Remember, as they told you on Troops, all suspects are guilty, period. Else they wouldn't be suspects.
That is a callback.
Yes, it is. Somebody's going to go look up Troops now.
So, and one thing actually that I do want to point out really quick about this particular chapter, folks, if you haven't noticed, this is sort of your, like, you know, random encounter kind of chapter.
Yes.
You know, this is giving you suggestions as far, like, instead of just saying, oh, you go from Tatooine to Dagobah. Okay, great. No, this is all those little things that you can throw in the meantime to make that travel sequence interesting. Even though Max skipped over the whole no, it was fine, but the whole thing about trips and, you know, luxury cruises, all that kind of stuff. Again, it's all just little pieces of how do you get from point A to point B.
The reason I'm skipping over, because normally I don't skip over stuff and read-throughs, is because we're going to spend a bit of time in astrogation. And
it wasn't the complaint, Max.
No,
it's
I know.
Fine.
Well, I'm explaining for the folks out there, because somebody will complain, like, is it a read-through or not? Well,
yeah, that's fair.
The reason is because we're going to spend a lot of time on astrogation. All right. So we got patrols here, but yeah, as he was saying, like, a lot of side quests can come out of this, and don't be afraid to use them. We are going to take a look at hyperdrives, because this is where numbers get weird. Hyperdrive is a miracle of advanced technology. Yeah, the Force created it, right? Powered by massive fusion generators, it hurls its ship into another dimension called hyperspace. I don't want to be hurled anywhere. That does not sound safe. Only hyperspace techs and highly trained scientists really understand hyperspace. No, they don't. It's magic. Even they admit there's a lot they don't see right there. Even they admit there's a lot they don't know because it's magic. They're just sorcerers. That's all they are. Many aspects of hyperspace remain a mystery to Imperial science. One thing is clear, though. In hyperspace, a ship can travel faster than light. To get technical, hyperspace is what? That's not even a word. Coterminous to normal space. I don't know what that means. Some scientists can tell me what the hell that is. Use normal words. Coterminous. All right, I'm going to use that at work tomorrow and see if how people look at me.
No, coterminous.
Yeah, coterminous. Yeah, you're right. I added an extra syllable in there.
Yeah.
That is, each point in real space is associated with a unique point in hyperspace. Oh, it's like the Erululi from Star Control. Got it. Okay, I understand now. And adjacent points in real space are adjacent in hyperspace. If you head north in hyperspace, you travel north in real space. Got it. Real objects have a hyperspace shadow. That is, there's a star or star-like object in hyperspace at the same location occupies in real space. Oh, it's astral space. See, I told you it's magic. This is a danger. Space is not a complete vacuum. Floating molecules are everywhere, only a few per cubic centimeter, but they exist. Larger objects, though rare, are common too. Okay, we're over here. Yeah, okay. There are many more rogue planets which float in interstellar void, unwarmed by any sun, than in star systems. There are uncountable asteroids, meteors, and random chunks of ice and rock between stars. If a ship traveling at translite speeds hits an object of any size, it is instantly vaporized. Why? Even a close graze with a rogue planet or sizable asteroid would throw a ship vastly off course. Astrogation is a tricky business. So your shadow can destroy my shadow, which destroys me. All but the smallest hyperdrive-capable starships are equipped with nav computers. Nav computers hold a wealth of statistical and map data charting the positions of stars, rogue planets, known asteroid fields, and other dangers. Properly operated by a skilled astrogator, they calculate the safest, fastest path for a ship to follow through hyperspace. Or you can be a dum-dum and just try to do the math in your head. Errors are always possible. Merely transposing a set of numbers when entering data can send a ship far off course. Unskilled astrogators frequently play it safe by taking a slower route in order to run less of a risk. The desperate sometimes do the reverse, accept a high risk to get somewhere fast. Remember, people, there's no such thing as a shortcut. Operating a nav computer properly is no guarantee of safety. There are billions of stars in the galaxy. The positions of most are charted, but that still leaves many whose positions have never been entered in the standard nav computer database, or Camino. Apparently they didn't enter that one either. There are many more planets and asteroids. The positions of 90% or more of them are unknown. Oh, lovely. A rogue planet shines only by reflected starlight. They can rarely be spotted by even the most powerful orbital telescopes. We can do it now. What are you talking about? You mean in a galaxy far, far away, a long, long time ago, whatever that nonsense is, they can't see rogue planets when we can do it now? Lame. There are trillions of rogues. Only the ones close to frequently traveled space routes are charted. As for asteroids and meteors, there are so many that no serious effort has been made to chart them. Okay, this is getting long-winded. I get it. And all these objects, stars, planets, asteroids, meteors, gas molecules are constantly moving, often in unpredictable ways. Accidents happen on even the most frequently traveled and best charted routes. Okay, all of that basically to say that, hey, flying through space is dangerous. Got it. All right, let's passage of times. On a planet, the farther apart two places are, the longer it takes to travel between them. In hyperspace, that isn't necessarily so. Theoretically, a starship can travel at practically infinite speeds. A well-equipped starship can travel from one side of the galaxy to another in a matter of days or weeks. The distance to the destination isn't the controlling factor. It's the difficulty of the trip. So now we know why the Kessel Run was using weird language. Since most rogue planets and smaller bodies are uncharted, a starship's speed through hyperspace depends on the amount of debris that lies in its path. If there's a lot of debris, the ship must feel its way slowly, detecting and avoiding objects as it goes. The denser the debris, the slower the passage. If many charted obstacles, stars, planets, so on, lie along ship's course, it must zigzag to avoid them, and that's time-consuming. All things being equal, the longer the trip, the more obstacles that a ship is likely to encounter, but sometimes the local star positions make a particular course tough. Might be a mere 15 light years from Dagobah system, but if your course goes through an asteroid field, you'll still have to divert. Yeah, go over it. Just go over it. Thing about solar systems is they tend to be planes. And if you know that, you go, oh, there's an asteroid belt, and then come down from... What do we call that in Battletech, Brian? The nadir and zenith points.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I know you weren't expecting that. So.
Yeah, no, I was not expecting BattleTech references, but I think it's still just kind of trying to get the point of, throw obstacles in their way. It's the Star Trek problem. Why in one episode is it 3 days to get from Vulcan to Earth, but in the next episode it's 3 weeks? Do what you need to for the story. It doesn't have to be exact every single time.
God forbid we have some consistency. Well, why did it take you an extra 18 days to get here? Rogue planet, man.
I mean, they just jump out of you right in front of you.
According to Star Wars, they do. Trillions of them all over the place, smashing into each other, creating asteroid belts.
I swear it wasn't here last Tuesday.
Right? Well, then you got the Empire running around blowing up planets. Was that a rogue planet? Was that the Empire? Who did it? Who knows? The investigators won't tell us. The Empire's investigating the situation. They came back and found out Alderaan just blew up. We don't know why it happened. It's so weird. The more frequently a particular route between two planets is used, the better the obstacles between them are charted, and the less cautious and slow a ship needs to be when traveling between them. The less frequently a route is used, the more cautious a ship needs to be. The best case is a trip like the Kessel Run. Ooh! One of the most heavily used trade routes in the Empire, and one which hotshot pilots and traders on the shady side of the law like to travel very quickly. Worst case is a trip between two previously unexplored star systems. The only guide the nav computer has in that case is the positions of the known stars. Worst case trips can take months. Lame. Backup hyperdrive. We are not going to talk about the backup hyperdrive. All right. Many small craft.
Real quick, I'll address the backup hyperdrive.
Okay.
How do you think Han Solo got from Hoth to Bespin with the hyperdrive out? With a backup.
He fixed it. He's Han. He did the Fonzie thing. He hip checked it and it just started working.
Did you watch the movie? Because that was the whole point, is the hyperdrive didn't work.
Those bat things fixed it. I know they're called Minox, folks. I'm gonna get some Star Wars nerd really pissed off. He said bat things. Yeah, I did. Oh, all right. Standard durations. All right, now we're getting to astrogation. This is the part. This is really the meat of this chapter. We are, okay. When the characters decide to enter hyperdrive, I think they meant hyperspace. It says hyperdrive there. When the characters decide to enter hyperdrive, determine the standard duration for the trip. The standard duration is how long in days the trip will take, and astrogation difficulty number of 15. The astrogator can do it faster by accepting a higher difficulty number or take longer to decrease the difficulty number. Can we just do 5 every time? Can we not roll? The astrogation gazetteer, see page 140, lists the standard durations. Okay, let's do it. 140. It's not 140. It's gonna be something else. But...
No, what was it last time? Like 123 or 127 or something? Because it would be the page before the cost chart.
Oh, here we go. Astrogation gazetteer. Yavin. So to get from Alderaan to Yavin is 12 days at a difficulty of 15. If you make the roll. Okay. It's only 8 days. So what's the shortest trip here? Bestman to Corellian. I thought it was Corellia.
So that's what I thought. Actually, there's an asterisk. Why is there an asterisk?
Numbers, length, the standard duration, journey in days, Corellian system.
Oh, so that's to get to the system, not necessarily the planet.
There must be something special about that system that I don't remember. 31 days to get to Dagobah. Jeepers creepers from there. Is that the longest travel time? Nope, 32. Bestman to Endor. Well, okay. Well, that explains why they couldn't just go flying off onto Endor after Bestman. Of course, yes. I got to stop telling people that I realize that I'm mixing up the movies and so forth. But I do that because I've read my comments over the years, and I know that somebody's going to spaz out. That wasn't even the same movie. Blah blah.
Look, at this point, folks, Star Wars is just a blur. It's all crossed over and mixed together. Just accept it.
Yeah. Nanu. All right. What page was I on?
56.
All right. You. See, I knew I had them along for a reason. All right, list of standard durations for travel among the star systems, blah, blah, blah. Players are traveling between two such systems. Look up the duration of the Gazetteer. If they're traveling to or from or between other star systems, you must determine the standard duration. Yep, got the chart. Standard duration rarely changes. Okay, good. That's all I needed to read. Tell players standard duration. Let the astrogator decide whether he wants to go faster or more cautiously. I don't want it to take 32 days to get to Bestman. I got a party going on. We got to get there faster. All ships have a hyperdrive multiplier. For most ships, this is 1. For especially fast ships, this might be 1/2, and for especially slow ships, 2. When a ship makes a journey, multiply the standard duration by its hyperdrive code. The standard duration, so example, if the standard duration is 7 days and the ship is an old rust bucket with a code of 2, it will take 14 days. That is the multiplier that you're utilizing. I always joked about the fact that, so I go half the speed of light, I go twice the speed of light. It's not really the speed of light. That's just how I keep it, together in my noggin. Just means if it takes 32 days, but you know what? You can go quote unquote 0.5 past light speed. That means it'll only take you 16 days to get there. So go Han Solo. Modifying durations. All right, so what do these difficulties do? If a starship makes a journey the same time as a standard duration, the difficulty number is 15. We got that. All right. If he rolls a 14 or less, he suffers a mishap. Oh, that's awesome. I like mishaps. Well, as the game master. An astrogator can choose to make the journey more or less quickly by accepting more risk. My God, we've read that like 15 times. Can we actually get to what the risk is now? Increase the difficulty number by 1 for every day saved. Oh, okay. The standard duration times 14 days. Astrogator wants to do it in 7. Difficulty number is 22. Okay, got it. So, typically you want to go 14 days. You want to cut that travel time in half and make it there in 7. You want that Millennium Falcon to use all of its 0.5. So now you have to add 7 to that 15. Remember, the base number is 15. So now you have to roll a 22. And you can decrease the difficulty number by 1 for a leisurely stroll across the galaxy where your face is outside, sightseeing the stars as they streak past. All hyperspace journeys take at least 1 day. No matter what, it could be next door. It could be from here to the moon. You went in hyperspace, it's taken a day. A trip's duration cannot be decreased to less than a day. That's it. You know what? They have the hyperspace can open its door once, and you have to wait 24 hours for it can open its door again.
All right. So I'm gonna be a little pedantic here. Is this so they're saying, okay, if you do this and you fail the roll, then you suffer a mishap. Aren't you supposed to make the calculation first and then enter hyperspace? So if you failed the calculation, to try and go faster, wouldn't you then just have to go the regular speed?
I think what it is, and I know we're going to get to it in a little bit, is you make the calculation, and basically once you're like, I like my calculation, you haven't rolled yet. It's when you hit enter, go, pull that little lever back. That's when you get the pew, because you screwed up.
All right, I can see that. I will play it that way. I agree.
Calculating hyperdrive coordinates. I'm sorry, what's that?
Nothing. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. Calculating hyperdrive coordinates takes about a minute for a well-traveled routes, or if using pre-calculated coordinates, or a few hours if coordinates must be calculated from scratch. As much as a day if the astrogator has no idea where he's going and must take readings to fix his location. I don't want to go there. Whatever. I don't even care where it is. I don't want to go there. If a route is well traveled or pre-calculated coordinates are available, a ship can enter hyperspace in a single combat round. This is risky, but is sometimes the only way to escape pursuit by enemy ships. When the characters wish to enter hyperspace hastily, the astrogator may make one astrogation skill roll for every combat round. If his roll is 15 or more, the ship may enter hyperspace. If it is not, he may try again. Oh, here you go, Brian. So
no, this is entering hastily.
Well, I get it, but you could still utilize this concept. Okay. His roll is 15. If not, he may try again the next combat round. The difficulty number of the hyperspace trip itself is doubled when a ship enters hyperspace hastily.
So you've got to make your roll to get into hyperspace, because remember, you're trying to do it, hastily. You probably haven't thrown in your calculations yet. And then you have to double your difficulty roll just to do your calculations. So you got multiple rolls. You better hope that this is not, level 1 character who's still landlocked.
Yeah, how do these people ever figure out faster and light travel, and why is this so ubiquitous when I got to roll 15? Well, we'll have to see what those mishaps are. The other factor modifies the so the difficulty number of hyperspace trip itself is double. Got that. One other factor modifies the difficulty number. Of course it does. How badly the ship is damaged. When a lightly damaged ship enters hyperspace, increase the difficulty number by 5. What do pockmarks on a ship cause, like, what? Bad airflow, bad hyperspace flow around it? You lose. The hell?
Yeah,
okay.
Because space isn't empty.
I'm sorry, I didn't know I needed my ships to be hyperspace dynamic. Increase the difficulty by 10 for heavily damaged ships. Severely damaged ship may not enter hyperspace. Now, the true answer to this is because the game doesn't necessarily include critical hits. That's not true. It does. But for now, it doesn't include critical hits. So it's the best way to represent that the ship has got potential internal damage. All right. Astrogating like a dum-dum. I mean, without a nav computer. When a ship without a nav computer, I don't know, next wing, travels by hyperspace, the difficulty number for standard duration trip is 30, not 15. Remember, if you're damaged, damaged computer, it's double. So instead of 15, it's 30, and you hate your life. Mishaps. Here we go. When a starship suffers a mishap, refer to the astrogation mishaps table on page 140. Oh, we got to do that. We're in 57 right now. It was before or after these things.
It was that same page. It was the same page as the astrogation chart.
Nah, I didn't pay attention to that. There we go. All right, that's metapack number, strength roll. Is it over here?
Right there. There's the astrogation chart, modifiers, difficulty.
Oh, mishap table. There we go. All right, Brian, roll me 2d6.
I was not ready for that. Give me 2 seconds. All right.
Hold on. Nope, I got them. Or do you have them?
I have them. I just got to get them out.
Okay. Well, we're all waiting for Brian.
I ruin everything. That's why you have me.
So I don't tell you what we're going to do, because I like these moments.
11.
Collision. Heavy damage sustained. You smacked into a rock. A space rock. Good job. Does it tell more? See page 59 for further explanation. All right, Mr. Collision into space rock. Freaking Asian woman driver. Ask me how I know. Somebody's going to leave me a bad comment about that too. My wife's an Asian driver. Believe me, I know.
Hey, I'm just going to say that I made her even question her driving choices when, she was in the car with me. So
no, you were just aggressive. Like, there's a difference between aggressive and bad. Here we go down here. Okay, so you didn't have hyperdrive cut out. You didn't have off course. You had smacking into something. Collision. There we go. Heavy damage sustained. The hyperdrive cuts out. Failed to activate. Okay. Oh, sorry. The hyperdrive cutouts failed to activate, and the ship actually collided.
I found that rogue planet.
Yeah, you found one of the trillions. Luckily, the object was tiny. Oh, it wasn't a rogue planet. And the ship, though severely damaged, was not vaporized. The ship is hulled, and air begins to escape immediately. All characters must make survival rolls to get into spacesuits in time. Anyone who falls falls unconscious from lack of air. Another character can, with a successful survival skill roll difficulty of 15, get an unconscious character into a spacesuit in time to prevent his death. If there's no one to do the job, the character undergoes explosive decompression and dies.
Remember, folks, get into your spacesuit before helping other passengers get into their spacesuit.
Right.
I realize I just said what you read, but in my head it was funnier. So sorry.
Well, no, because you were giving the airline safety briefing.
I know. Yes. It was funnier in my head.
It was still funny.
Okay.
Now, to people who don't fly, they'd be like, the ship drops out of hyperspace. Well, that's good. I would hate it when you failed it. You failed
Keep
going. You're just off. Right. You know, it was gravitational assist, and now you're going even faster. And fix a few. So the ship drops out of hyperspace, and a fix and new course must be calculated. I'm sure there's English in there I'm missing. And a fix and new course. I get the new course must be you have to you have to do your astrogation roll again.
Well,
got it.
No, okay.
You have to calculate a new course.
Well, no, but this is bad editing and another argument for the use of the Oxford comma. Okay, because they should be the ship drops out of hyperdrive or hyperspace, because I agree with you, it should be hyperspace, and a fix for the damage must be found. Okay, so remember, there's an opening in the hull.
Cutouts. The cutout set failed to work. You've got yep.
Right. So you have to fix the ship so that the air stops leaking, comma, and a new course must be calculated. That's how I would read this.
Yeah, as far as the Oxford comma goes, I am not a proponent of it. However, when I do write my books, I actually do use when I do my technical writing, I use the Oxford comma because I understand that it does tend to make things more clear. In my personal writing, I never use that damn thing. It's not necessary.
Screw Oxford. But like I said, in this case, it's a combination of bad editing and the Oxford. Like, if they'd at least had the Oxford comma in there, I think it would make more sense, even without saying fixing the ship.
Sure. The thing is, it just says, and a fix. So even then, do I have to fix a hyperdrive? Do I have to fix the hull? Do I have to fix both?
I have to fix the nav computer. The nav computer.
Now, this is actually where I agree with how the book is written. I agree with what Brian's saying. Oxford comma, you do all that for clarity, but leaving it ambiguous like that, because I like to put this in the hands of the game master and let the game master decide. Maybe the characters have to make technician rolls to find out what needs to be fixed. Maybe they have to, actually scout the ship a little bit, take that little flashlight out there and try to find the holes, whatever. Whether it's the hull, the nav computer, the actual hyperdrive, all three, two of the three, one of the three, none of the three, whatever. That's I leave that in the hands of the game master. I don't want 300 rules to say exactly what it all has to be.
I can agree to that. Like I said, the comma for clarity I think would help, but I like your point about what exactly is the fix. Does it have to be the hull? Does it have to be the computer? Does it have to be, something else? Here, you have an interruption, go fix stuff for a while, and get back on your travels.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's just, you tried to get there quickly, or maybe not, but you tried to get there quickly, and now Now it's going to take you even longer. Remember, there's no such thing as a shortcut. And the one last thing, just to kind of piggyback on that for game masters, other disasters. This should by no means be considered an exhaustive list of the dangers of hyperspace. Hyperspace is a very poorly, sorry, wow, I'm adding words in there. Hyperspace is very poorly, I'm going to try reading now. Hyperspace is very poorly understood. It can contain anything. Feel free to improvise new disasters and bizarre hyperspace encounters for your players. You could have, I don't know, some sort of asteroid that has a weird worm that lives on it that tries to eat somebody's ship. That's pretty clown shoes, but you can do it. Game mastering tips, making the rules serve the plot. How long does it take to get from planet A to star system B? Brian already spilled the beans on this one, but we're going to read a little bit of this.
Look, we didn't read ahead.
The correct answer is as long as you want it to take. If you need to get the players to System B fast because the plot of your adventure demands it, the trip's standard duration is a day or two. I despise that comment. I hate, this is a personal preference, I hate plot trumping setting. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. If it's supposed to take 2 weeks to get there, then it needs to take 2 weeks to get there. They need to do the things that allow it to take 2 days. A good game master, though, won't put them in a situation where it requires them 2 days, but it's going to take them 2 weeks. Now, circumstances can pile up against them. They could lose their nav computer. But I believe in emergent storytelling. I don't believe games are storytelling. I believe they're emergent storytelling, which means the story comes from playing the game, not from, I just want something to be this way, so let's make it happen. There's already enough flexibility built into the system. There's already enough flexibility built into the game. I don't give a damn about the game master's plot, and I don't expect you to give a damn about my plot. My job is to put a galaxy or a universe or something out there, and if you decide just to dump all the crap in the cargo hold and fly off into a different direction, that's on you. Now, maybe I stop running the game at that point, or maybe I just adjust and say, okay, you guys have become pirates. Interesting. I will now write different adventures or have different concepts that have you as pirates. But I despise this as long as you want it to take in terms of game concept, not real world. You don't have to have an adventure every day. You don't have to, oh my God, make it last 2 real weeks to get them there, anything like that. But if it's supposed to take 2 weeks, it should take 2 weeks to get there.
Well, but don't forget, we literally just read the rules about modifying durations.
Right, but that was through making rolls.
True.
That was through playing the game.
Right, and I think there are ways that you can adjust that to get to the quote unquote correct answer.
Yeah, you have to roll like a 50 or higher.
Right. I'm just going with the book that I can get that, as far as like, again, going back to that Star Trek example of why is it 3 days versus 3 weeks when we're going from point A to point B.
And I will give you my response that I gave then too. God forbid we actually have any consistency.
Right.
I mean, look, it's tomato. Well, no, it's not. It's tomato potato. It's going to depend on how you want to run your game.
Yeah.
I would have a problem if this happened constant. If it happened once or twice, no big deal. But I honestly would have a problem if I sat at a table where one time it took me 6 days to get to Dagobah, the next time it took me 18 days, the next time we got there in 4 hours, because that's what the story demanded. Well, if the story demands me to get there in 4 hours, then either the story is bad or we made some mistakes. We should suffer for those mistakes.
Sure. Yeah, and in fact, I'll use the same kind of example that I gave when Kim and I were doing the My Little Pony read through this week. Remember, this is a road trip. Okay. Go look at movies and how movies handle road trips. Either they show people getting in the car, put up a little word, title card or whatever, 4 hours later or 3 days later.
Mhm.
And then it shows them getting out of the car. Okay,
Sure.
they're there. It's done. You can either do that or you can do the road trip montage. And the road trip montage.
But that's a table deal, though.
Yeah.
It still takes them, for the sake of argument, a week to drive from Florida to California. They don't. 4 hours later, we started in Miami, and 4 hours later, we're in San Diego. No, you're not.
Right.
Like that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the montage, the skipping of the scene for the players. Yes. Well, guys, you're going to was it from Bespin to Endor? It's going to be 32 days. So I'll see you next month. No, nobody does that, but the characters should feel the 32 days. Now, if you make better rolls or you get there quicker, whatever, but it should never be like, well, for the purpose of my story, I need them there in 1 day, so they're just going to get there. Well, that's a bad story then.
Yeah, I'm actually going to like I'm going to agree with you mostly that yes, that is bad storytelling, but I think as a game master, if you want to heighten the tension, okay, you need to get there in 3 days. Well, it normally takes a week. Okay, well, guess what? We already talked about how to modify the duration. Here are the options. Maybe you want, you want to do the calculation, which normally is going to be impossible, but we're going to do a little side quest to, sneak in to the Imperial planetary control system and use those nav computers to find a better route.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, it would still be based on the role. You'd be required. And I think this paragraph is going to kind of dive into that a little bit. I think. So
right, no, exactly. But do something like that. It's like, cool, you're going to get a +10 to your roll or a +15 or something so that you can make that hard roll. And great, now you get to do it in 3 days instead of 3 weeks. So I'm making up numbers as I go.
I got you. All right, so because those are standard duration territory. Okay, the path is well traveled or free of obstacles, or a ship has recently arrived from System B, so the players have fresh and accurate astrogational data. If you need to delay the players, the standard duration is high. There's an intervening gas cloud, or no one has traveled from A to B in a long time, but we just did it. Well, you're no one's, or whatever. What if the players have traveled from A to B before and know that the standard duration is 6 days, and you want them to spend 12 on the trip? Oh my God. This is like every bad game master advice I've ever heard. Okay, let's see where it goes.
Well,
maybe
read the next sentence.
Yeah.
It's not horrible advice.
Why energy storms make the passage difficult, or a newly discovered rogue planet blocks the best route, or you get the idea. Yeah, the quantum ogre stuff here that is talking about does not bother me. This doesn't bother me at all. I just like some of the terms. Maybe I'm just jaded because I know how people use them in a modern sense.
Yeah.
Let's say, what if you want them to spend 12 days on a trip? Well, there better be a legit reason as to why it was 12 days. Well, okay, yeah, energy storms. That's fine. New rogue planet. Yep. You get a big warning as you input your data. And can't do this trip. Can't do this trip. Press enter to go. Absolutely. I'm okay with it. I just want to state that for the record, I tend to not like to throw too much of that crap in there, because then the players, it turns into just a crapshoot. Why have a high astrogation skill? Why even worry about a multiplier on my ship if it's just gonna be a crapshoot that every time we want to do this, well, the game master doesn't want us to get there fast, or he needs us there tomorrow, and so we're just going to speed up time and make it happen. The setting. So setting or campaign in my, if you're going the Gygax way, setting trumps rules trump players. That's the order. Now, Star Wars is its own setting and rules, so those are just kind of baked in together. Setting trumps players. The setting has to, if there's no consistency, what's the point? We're just trying to play to have fun. Well, if you like clown shoes and you just want to do whatever you want, go write your own fanfic then. All right. It is best, however, if the change in duration is somehow related to an event that affects the players in the future. Yes. Debris from the destruction of Alderaan, an Imperial blockade, stepped up pirate activity. This way you promote the illusion that the universe has a life of its own and that things occur for logical reasons, but without regard for the player cares. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. All the negativity I was putting out there before, I take back a little bit and say, yes, there you go. This paragraph sums it up. In addition, the events provide plot hooks for future adventures and things for your players to wonder about. All right. All right. Next question. When does a ship suffer a mishap in interstellar? Okay. All right. When does a ship suffer a mishap in interstellar travel? Yes, it happens. That's not an answer. Yes, it happens when a character blows his astrogation skill roll, but it can also happen when you need a mishap to occur. This is every dungeon master that stole player character horses just because he wanted to. If everything else fails and you need to delay your players, the hyperspace cutout can activate, or an uncharted asteroid can throw them off course. In fact, a carefully planned mishap can be the key to a whole story. Suppose you want your players to make first contact with an undiscovered alien race. That's simple enough. One hyperspace journey, they get thrown badly off course and re-enter real space near an unexplored star. Or you can just wait for them to fail the roll and have that just on standby. Ugh.
What if you've got that player who just rolls hot all the time?
Then that story's on standby for a long time.
There we go.
Sooner or later, I don't care if you're rolling 8 dice, you're going to roll low when you need to roll high because you have to do an immediate jump to Bespin right now and you need a 60.
No, it'll still take you 1 day.
That's fine, but you're going to mishap to now my alien encounter that I wanted you to have. All right, so which mishap occurs? We already talked about that. Brian rolled for us, and okay, Starship combat. That's next. So we are going to skip to 65 and talk about improving ships, and then this video that's all way too long already is going to be over. I hope you guys are having fun though. I know there's a lot of comments in there. Hopefully, Brian's at least read 2 or 3 of them that we should, talk about. And if not, well, we'll figure it out. Improving ships. A character who owns a ship can spend skill points to improve it. Skill points. Remember, we talked about that in the character creation video. I think that's the first video in this series, right at the end. You can increase any of its die codes, speed, hull, maneuverability, shields, fire control, and damage. The cost of increasing a code is determined in the same way as for character skills. Example, increasing a ship's speed from 5D to 5D plus 1 costs 5 skill points. If a ship mounts multiple weapons, spending skill points to increase a fire control or damage code only affects 1 weapon code. Great. Well, I own a Star Destroyer. I'm never improving this dumb thing. Increasing the other weapon codes costs additional skill points. I think they changed this in 2nd edition. I seem to remember we did things differently to improve this, but I could be wrong. The owner of a ship can also alter its hyperdrive multiplier, changing from ×2 to ×1 costs 20 skill 20 skill points. From ×1 to 1/2 costs 40 skill points. So what happens? Hold on here. Hold the phone, because skill points are based on what your characters do, right? They're basically your experience points. So I increase. Thank you very much. I increase my ship. I spend 40 skill points, and I increase it from ×1 to ×2. My ship gets blowed up because Brian's a dick and he took it from me. Do I just lose those 40 skill points?
Yeah, I would want, like, I get what they're doing because it's keeping the rules quote unquote simple,
consistent. Oh, consistent too.
Yeah, but I would rather have a monetary value associated with it.
Yes.
Or actually, no, you know what? Either or. If you want to spend skill points, you can do that. If you want to spend cash, you can do that. I would leave both options up to the player, but there should be a monetary value to do so.
Yes.
Because, and actually, well,
there's ship construction rules.
No. You know what? Keep reading. It's down there.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, before that, one of the things that I would do based on what we've read so far is if you paid the 20 skill points, get from ×2 to ×1, okay? And then your ship gets blown up and you get another ship that already has a ×1, but that's the base and hyperdrive for it. I would say that you're halfway to the 1/2. Again, that's if it's the base.
Right.
But let's see what these updated rules say. You know, the paragraph below. An owner can add additional weapons to his ship. A weapon with 1d fire control, 1d damage costs 6 skill points. Increasing its codes from those values costs additional skill points. Remember, increasing just increases it by a pip, not by a die. In addition to spending skill points to improve ship, an owner must either spend money or use his starship repair skill.
Hold on. In addition to spending skill points, you must spend cash or do the work yourself.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't like that. Don't like it.
If he chooses to spend money, he must take his ship to a space dock or other repair facility with the tools and equipment. He must also spend 100 credits per skill point. The repair facility takes 1 day per pip by which the code is increased. Okay, I mean, all of that makes sense to me other than the skill points thing, because, and here's what it comes down to. There's a couple ways you can look at this. You can look at this like the champions or the hero system method, which is obvious, inaccessible focus, okay? It's a ship, it's obvious. It's inaccessible, which basically means that it can't be taken away from him. There are ways to do it, but it generally, because the character spent points on it, it's part of who he is, you can't really take it away from him. Well, then that means you're not blowing up his ship. Unless the player does something really, really, really dumb in combat, he's not going to get blowed up, you know, in combat because he spent all these skill points on it. Or what's going to happen is your Jedi character is going to be unlimited, using the Force to just blow up suns and so forth, and this guy is going to still be failing tightening screw rolls because all his damn skill points went into a ship and you blowed it up on him. That's right. I purposely used bad English there to mess. So yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Somebody who knows second edition, can you put in a chat if that changed? Because I don't remember spending skill points because I was the technician. So this was me, and I don't ever remember spending skill points to do this. I might be wrong. It's been a long time since I played. But and we played mostly second edition with the wild die. All right, so example, a character with Starship repair of 6D plus 2 could increase the ship code as high as 6D plus 2, but no higher. Oh, so your own repair skill can't go higher than how high you build it. You'd have to pay for it if you went. So if I wanted 7 dice, I would have to pay somebody else to do it since my own skill is only 6D plus 2. Got it. All right, well. Increasing a code by 1 pip costs 1 week of time. So a character with a ship. Oh, so a character with ship can spend skill points to improve his ship because the ship is, in a sense, an extension of himself as his abilities. If you wish, you may also permit characters to customize blasters or other equipment following the same rules. I really think this hurts the character doing it this way, unless you go by, like I said, the champions type system where it's like, okay, since you put skill points in this ship, I won't take it from you. I won't blow it up. Mishaps won't just immediately destroy it, but you know, multiple things have to come into play for it to be destroyed. But I could also see players using that against the game master as well. Like, well, I can't be captured on my ship because the Imperials can't destroy it because I've spent points for it. That's tough. Yeah, generally I don't like it. I don't know what your overall thoughts are, but I generally don't like it.
Like I think it's an interesting idea. I get why they're doing it, you know, because like they say right here, in a sense, an extent, you know, the ship is an extension of the character, you know, like I think they're kind of approaching it from the the kind of like cinematic hero type situation where, you know, they're not going to blow up the Millennium Falcon. They're not going, you know, to blow up Darth Vader's TIE fighter.
And, and to some degree, that's fair. I don't have a problem with that because, I mean, the game is baked as a more cinematic style game.
Yeah, but it's still bad. I agree with you that, you're going to have the problem where, the soldier character or the Jedi, whatever, are going to be having skills and abilities that are much higher because the smuggler dumped everything into his ship.
Right. Yeah.
No, the smuggler should be broke because he keeps taking out loans or doing jobs or whatever it is to upgrade the ship, to keep it working, to buy fuel, whatever. But his skills should be getting better over time. So
I agree. I agree. And I swear that I didn't have to deal with this when I played the second edition games we were in. It's been so long that I don't remember. So I'm sure it changed between 1E revised and second edition. But Midrin, he says, sounds like Besom system too. Yeah, Besom and Champions are basically the same thing with different rules for the actual gameplay. But Besom and Champions, as far as making characters, I don't even know if there's a difference. The math in Besom is a lot easier than it is in Champions, but it's the same. Create characters in Besom and in Champions the exact same way. So that's why it seems the same there. All right, well, that's it. Let me scroll through a bunch of this chat here and see if there's anything worth bringing up. I know you guys were kind of chatty. The next episode is going to be on Starship combat. So that section that we missed here, we're going to dive into the combat rules. Get that off the screen and bring this over here and see what we've got for chat. I know I started one, but I have to go way back to...
most of it was just kind of general Star Wars-y chat. So not a whole lot jumped out at me, except for a couple of comments, starting with Kevin Sullivan. In hyperspace, no one can hear you scream very fast. To which Rocky Macabre replied, your scream just has a shorter distance to travel.
Well, it depends on your roll. My scream hit a rogue planet.
Yeah.
If you find any more, if you want to timestamp them, I can put them on the screen too.
I didn't catch the timestamps. I'm actually looking at the second edition rules.
Oh, okay. Well, there was one that I started. Where did I start that thing? Okay, back here. So Darth Theik said, "You don't know you miscalculated until you try." Yeah, that's right.
There were a bunch of comments like that when we were arguing. When do you actually, roll for that? So
I'm sure there's a way that you could legitimately say, whoa, hold on. Not yet. I think I may have miscalculated that one, but that would have to be a really weird instance. That's where the wild die from like second edition would come in well. It's like you failed, but you rolled well on the wild die. Well, no, because that just gives you added to your roll. What? I'm having a live stream right now. Stop staring at me. It's creepy. Here. All right. Well, with that, I don't want to waste a lot of time here since this will be to video later. Maybe we'll regale you in the next video about the changes or about that Starship, because we'll be talking about Starship combat, and we're going to want to know how to replace that dumb thing, and hopefully it's not just with skill points, right? Once again, thank you for Brian, Game with ADHD, for being here. Quickly, Brian, I know you love doing this, so please shout out your channel.
Gaming with ADHD.
And what do you do there?
Honestly, I talk about anything tabletop, board games, role-playing, miniatures, paint, whatever. Come check it out. It's fun.
There you go.
And I also do some deep dives of my own, of which Max will be joining me soon to talk about MechWarrior First Edition. So check that out.
Battletech, the role-playing game. Yeah, I look forward to that. So that will be fun. Check him out over at Gaming with ADHD. And I've got nothing else. So please like, subscribe, and share. And I look forward to seeing everybody in the next video where we talk about Starship combat.